Hey, this is Dr. Willie Jolly. I am so excited to take a moment to tell you about my friend, Dr. Keith Johnson. He is the best speaker in the world on the topic of confidence.
For over 22 years on nearly every continent, bringing his message of confidence to over 1.5 million people, Amazon best-selling author and America's #1 confidence coach, Dr. Keith Johnson has transformed people from all walks of life.
It may be one of the most powerful speakers I've ever seen.
Dr. Johnson has worked alongside some of the most influential thought leaders, such as Les Brown, the world's #1 motivational speaker, who said, Keith Johnson has unique insights, humor, and teaches life-changing principles that will increase your confidence and allow you to more fully live your purpose. As a founding member of the John Maxwell team, Keith understands the power of honest communication and the strategies for effective leadership. Dr. Keith Johnson has spoken in some of the largest churches in the world and frequently presents for Get Motivated business seminars, the largest speaking tour in the United States. Dr. Keith Johnson has also been featured on many popular national television shows. Women's World, the most read magazine for women across the globe, recognized him as one of America's ultimate experts on confidence. Whether you want to lead a business, organization, sales team, or a church, nothing happens until you gain more confidence. Are you ready for a positive change? This is your moment, an opportunity for you to be inspired and transformed by a proven expert. Everybody, please stand to your feet and welcome to the stage America's #1 confidence coach, Dr. Keith Johnson.
Well, hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello out there. I'm so excited to see all of you. Wow. I'll tell you what, I'm so glad that you have joined us here today. I'm telling you what, we are going to have an absolute exciting time together. And I want you just to come on in. My name is Dr. Keith Johnson. And as you saw in the video, I'm known worldwide as America's #1 confidence coach, Amazon best-selling author, and founder of the 83K Academy, in which I'm going to be telling you a little bit about later on in this meeting here today. So I want you to come on in, and if you'll look down below, you'll find a chat. And here's what I want you to do. I want to ask you, are you ready to make a difference in people's lives? If you're ready to make a huge impact in people's lives, I want you just to comment in the chat and say yes. Come on, put down in there, say yes. I know that's why you're part of this program here today. That's what you're looking for. You're wanting to change people's lives. Yes, I'm seeing you down there. Yes, I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready. Come on, you've been hearing enough no's, you've been hearing enough negativity. I want to see some yeses down in the chat. Every single one of you who are participating tonight, are you ready? Are you ready not only to make a difference, but are you ready to make a fortune? Come on, come on. If you're ready to make a fortune, I want you to put yes down there. Come on, let me be your coach today. Let me be your coach. Don't sit back and be passive on me in this webinar here today. I'm here to ignite a fire up under you. And so if that's you, if you're saying, yeah, I want to make a difference. And if you're there and you're saying, man, I also want to make $1, go ahead and post. Yes, I see you posting down below. So exciting. Yes, I see you, Janice. Yes, I see you, Chris. I say yes to you. Janine, yes, I say yes to you. Deborah, I say yes to you. Jana, I say yes to you. I see your name. Yes, I see you. Rory, I see you. Yes, I see you posting. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, listen, are you ready to learn more today on how to get you there. If that's you, all right, I see you, Lorna. Say yes down below. Come on, let's post some yes. Let's get this party started tonight. Yes, this is going to be an awesome night. I've been waiting for so many of you. I've been so excited about tonight because I'm going to share some things with you that I believe that are going to really bring some clarity to your mind to get you on the road to doing your calling, not just your career, but something that I can bet you are called to do. So glad to see you. And guess what we're going to do? Listen, tonight, those of you who stay on for the full length of this seminar here tonight, I decided to do something special. I am going to give away my confidence coaching experience box. This is a 66-day coaching experience where I take you by the hand and I just take you, from just having average confidence to supercharging your confidence. I'm telling you, this 66 days will do for you what the phone booth did for Clark Kent, man. It'll take you from Clark Kent to Superman. This box right here, man, it's changed so many people's lives. When I'm live, we sell this for $3.99. So this is my total confidence coaching experience box. And one of you is going to get this box. So listen, here's what I want you to do. I've got a number. I wrote down a number on my paper right here. And what I'm going to do is at the end, whoever guesses my number or gets closest to the number that I picked is going to win this 399 confidence coaching experience. Are you excited about that? Are you excited? So go ahead right now, pick your number. Pick your number. It's going to be a number from 1 to 50. 1 to 50. Pick your number tonight, and who's ever the closest, at the end, we're gonna be looking over it, and Coach Sherry is on with us tonight, and she's gonna be watching that for me, and I'm gonna text her right now my number. She's gonna be watching that for me. I just text my number to Coach Sherry, and she's one of my coaches, and she's going to be looking at those. Go ahead, post down below. Post a number, 1 to 50. Whoever gets the closest to the number I just put in there, you're going to be the winner tonight. So we'll announce that at the very end of our meeting together. So, man, it's going to be awesome. And by the way, if you look down below, another thing, you'll find that there's a box just down below you there where you can ask questions, all right? So if you'll post questions as I'm talking, all right? If you'll post them down there, I promised in my emails that I'd have a question and answer time. So if anything comes to mind and you want to ask it, when we go into that part, I'll answer all your questions. I'll take time to go through every one of them. So down below, you'll find a chat where you'll enter in your chat box, enter in your number right now, okay? Put in your number, what you're going to guess. And also over in the question and answers, you can just hit that and we'll be ready to go. All right. So let me just start off our time by asking you a question. Have you ever had a challenge like I've had? Have you ever run into this? Like you had this desire, right, to make a big difference in other people's lives. I mean, you really want to help people. You really wanted to make a difference. And you also, know that you also, I want to help people. I want to make a difference. I have something to say, I feel like, and I want to make money, but it doesn't seem like I'm being very effective. Well, listen, my friend, I experienced that same experience. As a matter of fact, I remember when I first experienced a massive change in my life when I totally surrendered my life to God. And I remember after that, man, before that, I was always thinking about myself. It was always about me. But after I experienced that transformation and I totally surrendered my life to my calling, man, I had a passion. I had a hunger in my heart to be used to change people's lives. And man, I started out, I was super excited. I had all kinds of excitement. I had all kinds of energy. I had all kinds of big dreams. But guess what? I failed miserably to make a difference. It's like nobody cared how excited I was about me. Nobody knew who I was. It seemed like nobody wanted my help. It seemed like, I did as much as I possibly could and no money was coming in. And I failed in all three of those areas in my own life. And so I know how you feel. And it was March 16th, 2002, where just everything fell apart. I was traveling around and I was speaking at little tiny places, really struggling and barely getting by. And to fund my dream, I used credit cards, and I found myself $180,000 in credit card debt. My car, I owned a car that I owed $20,000 more on it than what it was even worth. And I had to sell everything I had, and I had to move in to my mother-in-law's little 12 by 12 bedroom. I'm telling you, it was hell on earth. It was really tough on me. And I remember in that moment, being absolutely broken. I mean, having a right heart. And I'm going to give you several nuggets today that's really going to help you. And I hope you're going to write some of these down. You can have a right heart, but an empty head. You can have a right heart, but an empty head. I had a great heart, but I made three major mistakes that caused me to, number one, not be able to fulfill my assignment. Number two, to land me in huge debt. Number three, and to cause me to be broke. So it wasn't enough just for me to have a big desire. I was making three mistakes. I call it the 3 M's. Number one, the mistake I made was I needed a mentor. I needed a mentor. And I was trying to do it all alone. Now, I honestly wanted a mentor. I knew that I was failing. I knew I was missing it somewhere. And I tried to reach out to people who were where I was at. And it just seemed like nobody cared and nobody was interested in helping me or helping others. And so I was forced to just try to do it all by myself and try to read a book here and try to take a course here and you hear a lot of the word try, and I was trying, but man, I really didn't have anybody that would really come alongside me to help me. And then the other mistake I realized I made during that time when I lost everything is I discovered that I needed to learn about multiple streams of income. That's why in this training, I'm outlining how to build an expert empire, not how to build a speaking empire, not how to build a coaching empire, not how to build a writing empire, but how to build an expert empire. And I'm going to give you a definition on that just a little bit later. But I started to realize when everything fell apart, my whole business model, my whole ministry model was only centered around speaking. So after September 11th, remember September 11th? So everything fell apart in 2002. 2001, September 11th, that's when that happened and everything came to a halt. And I was already treading water, was already struggling. And at that time, man, everything came to a standstill. And I remember it's just like the rug got pulled out from under me. Every meeting I had canceled. And because I only had speaking in my toolbox, guess what? All my income got cut off, and I couldn't borrow any more money at that moment. And so, yeah, I experienced a crisis. Now, what you call a crisis, God calls a classroom. So it was so great because I've learned that you can take your crisis and turn it into cash. And some of you, if you're facing crisis right now, man, some of you may be in one of the best places you could ever be, because it's in crisis times we begin to learn something that we'd never learned before. It's in crisis times, watch this, that you shrink your ego. See, the ego says, I know everything. The ego says, oh, I know how to do this. The ego says, I know it all. And listen, the bigger the ego, the smaller the bank account. The bigger the ego, the smaller the impact you'll have. And it's in that crisis, man, I had to shrink my ego. And when I shrunk my ego, I realized, wow, I needed to build multiple streams of income. Not just speaking. I needed to take on coaching. I needed to take on writing. I needed to add in a whole educational piece of the puzzle. I needed to add in membership classes. I needed to add in other different streams into what I was doing. The third M, the third mistake was, I call it more. So you need a mentor. M, you need multiple streams of income. Number two, to be successful in this industry. And number three, you need more. What do you mean just more? Yeah, I've been talking a lot about being a possibility thinker. And a possibility thinker always believes that there's more, right? That I can be more, that I can do more, that I can have more, that I can help more people. So no matter where you're at in your life, you've got to grab onto the possibility thinking. You know, the ancient script tells us, one of the greatest possibility thinkers ever, Jesus, he says, all things are possible to him who believes. And so when you stop believing for more, that's when you stop being a possibility thinker. And what I realized in my life in that moment was, I believed that making a huge impact, making a big difference, being a best-selling author, speaking on big stages, whether it's in churches or whether it's for businesses, and coaching people at really high levels. I believed it was possible for John Maxwell. I believed it was possible for Joyce Meyer. I believed it was possible for T.D. Jakes. I stood back and I said, wow, they must have something special. They must have something, some sort of special thing that God's put on their life that he hasn't put on my life. And the day my life changed, my friend, is the day I became a possibility thinker. And I said, wait a minute, if anybody can do it, I can do it too. And that day, in the darkest moment, you see, my friend, here's what I learned, is that the light always follows dark. It was dark first before the light came, right? You'll always face a recession before you experience prosperity. You'll always have a crisis before you experience a launching pad to success. There's always darkness before something great begins to arise in your life. And that was where I was at in my life. And I started to be a possibility thinker. And I think, wait a minute, if they can do it, I can do it. I just got to get me a mentor. I just got to learn multiple streams of income. I just got to think and believe that it's possible for me. And when I started to begin to understand, you know what? Wow. You know, I was doing everything wrong. And I made a decision. I said, you know what? I'm going to invest and develop my skills to go beyond just being a speaker, a coach, a writer, that I was going to go beyond that, and that I was going to enter into the expert industry. And see, that is where you can make both a difference and a fortune. And I'm going to talk a lot about that together today. And so when I started to think different, that's when my outer world started to change at a drastic rate. I'm going to show you just a couple things here. You saw some in the video, but I want to point out that once I started to believe big, I mean, I'll never forget, in my mother-in-law's house, in my darkest times, everything was falling apart, right? And it was in that dark time that I wrote down on a piece of paper, one of these days I want to speak for Get Motivated Business Seminars. You got to realize that took a lot. That took a lot to think, that when you go to some of these events and you see some of these people, it's like, wow, these people are amazing, right? These are the who's who. These are presidents. These are NFL NFL champion quarterbacks, and these are all these politicians and super big successful people. And yet I wrote that down, and guess what? That dream became a reality. So nothing happens until you first believe, man, this is possible. And so that was exciting. And I'd spent a whole year traveling with this man. His name's Les Brown. He's on the left, and Willie Jolly, he's on the right. They called us the three musketeers, and the three of us traveled the United States and America together. And I was able to be mentored by this. They call him the world's #1 motivational speaker. He's amazing. If you've ever heard him, he's amazing. And Willie Jolly, he was used to turn Ford around. He's an amazing guy all on himself. But but here I was, if you think about it, you know, I flunked kindergarten. I couldn't read and write by the time I was 24 years old. And now here I am on these big stages with these really big people traveling around. And I just want to say this because I want you to grab onto it. If I can do it, you can do it too. And I want you to post that down below. Yes, I can. You can do it. I've been saying about possibility thinkers is that it's the me I see is the me I will be. And so I was seeing this way before it ever happened. And of course it manifests when I made these changes. And not only did I want to make a difference in the business world, I wanted to make a difference in the church. And I remember I had such a passion to impact Asians. And I would close my eyes and I would see thousands of Asians gathered responding to messages that I would speak. And it was so exciting because when you see this picture, this was 20 years after I saw this picture, this vision in my mother-in-law's house. This manifests. I was in this big stadium full of Asians, and I preached on being a change agent and encouraged people that they could be a change agent. And these are all young people who responded. And man, it's just been amazing to see how not only have I spoken some of the largest businesses, but also in the largest churches. literally in the world. All started in my mother-in-law's house. Yeah. Then I went on TV, Fox News. That was a highlight in my life. I was also coached. I always wanted to have a deal with Penguin Books. If you look on the right, that's me. That's a contract I had. Penguin Books actually gave me an advance. They gave me money to write a book, and it was a healthy advance at that. And I got help over on the left-hand side. I started hanging out with Mark Victor Hansen and Jack Canfield, the authors of Chicken Soup for the Soul. And they helped me and they coached me on how to get these contracts. It's just amazing to me. I mean, think about this. I mean, here's this kid that was born in a home of abuse, and a home where my father was a member of Satan's Escorts, which is a Harley Davidson motorcycle club, and we had alcoholism going on and drugs going on, and abject poverty. Sometimes we didn't have food in the refrigerator. I mean, it was crazy, the environment. And to think of where I'm at today and the relationships I have today are just amazing, and what I've been able to achieve. And I'm not saying this to brag on me. I'm saying this tonight to get you to understand that if it can happen for me, it can happen for you. I want you to post that down below. If Keith can do it, I can do it too. Go ahead. I want to see those posts. Come on. If I can do it, you can do it too. Yeah, I see you. Thank you. Go ahead, post those down there. Say, if I can do it, if he can do it. If a guy who flunked kindergarten can do it, man, you can do it. Yes, you can. And so I started. I just want to share this. I was super excited that after I achieved a lot of really awesome things. I see you. I can do it. Yeah, if Keith can do it. Yes, Jolene. Yeah, I see you posting down there. Yes, Charles. Yes, man, I can't even pronounce your name, but I see you. Dunu. Yes, you guys can do this. I am not Superman. I'm just an ordinary person. I struggled reading. I struggled with writing. I wasn't raised in a great home. No, I had a lot of things against me at the beginning. I didn't have help. I know how you feel. I've been there. If you haven't had help, just post down below. Let's look and see how common it is. I had no help, and so many of us have. And once I made it, about 5 years ago, I made a decision. I said, man, I'm going to start coaching other people on how to coach. And so I started training. We called it Life Coaching Certification Academy. And I started teaching people how I coach people, how to become a coach and build 6- and 7-figure coaching industries for themselves. And we just had tremendous amount of success. And you do the search on the internet and you search confidence coaches, you'll find them. You'll find so many all over the place. They just took what I had and ran with it. I discourage that in people now, but back in the day, I said, hey, take it, run with it, and you'll find them all over the place. I mean, it's amazing. You got couples confidence coach. There's a gay confidence coach. There's all kinds of different confidence coaches for a lot of different situations. Divorce confidence coach. There's all kinds of them, and it's awesome. It's great to see. And I have so many of examples of people who gone not only achieved as much as I've achieved. There's examples of people that I've trained now who even went beyond me, and it blesses my heart. And basically, that started that 5 years ago. And here recently, I got so busy. As a matter of fact, around 2016, when I had my heart attack, and I really started to realize, wow, you know what? I want to invest in more people. And as 2020 came around, I said, man, I really want to spend, instead of running around all over the world, because in 2016, my wife said I was gone almost 300 days that year. It was crazy. My schedule got nuts. I couldn't train as many coaches anymore. And I kind of felt like, wow, I did a lot. But when 2020 came around, I started thinking, I want to start mentoring more people. I want to get behind more people and take what I know and pour into them. And because I'm not thinking about, I want to be successful. Now I'm thinking, I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave something behind. And I don't want to leave my watches, my pins, my cars behind. I don't want to leave material things. I want to leave those behind to my daughter and whatnot. But what I want to leave is not material things on the outside. I want to leave some things inside of you as a person when I'm gone from this planet. And if you want to leave a legacy, I want you to put yes. I want you to put yes down below. And so then when 2020 came, and I was like thinking, how am I going to do this? Because I'm so busy. And then COVID hit, and I'm like, wow, this is a perfect time. And it's been a godsend to me, because I'm more committed now than ever to getting back into this groove of not just training coaches, but training coaches, speakers, and best-selling authors. And that's really what 83K Academy is. But I want to show you this, because I think it's so important that you see a testimony from one of my students. And the reason why I want to show you this guy is because he came to America with $5 in his pocket. And I met him shortly after he arrived in America. And he came from really humble beginnings, and now he is doing absolutely incredible himself. I'm gonna pull this up here for you. I want you to see this just real quick, because I think it's awesome. Let me share this with you. Here we go. I want you to listen to this. This is awesome. Okay, this is a guy who came to America with a few bucks in his pocket, and that's it. Listen to this.
Hi, my name is Martijn van Tilborg. I'm the owner of Four Rivers Media. We come alongside influencers to help bring their message to market. And we started our company in 2008. It was definitely a day of small beginnings. And we grew out to be a multi-million-dollar company, specifically doing business in the Christian space, helping Christian leaders bring their message to market. And along the way, I met somebody named Dr. Keith Johnson, and I just wanted to give him a shout out today. Keith Johnson has been a tremendous blessing. He is a godsend. I always look back to the 12 years that we've been in business, and there's different phases of growth that I can identify. And at the foundation of every growth spurt was a strategic alliance. And I can truthfully say that the relationship with Keith Johnson has been such a relationship. He's been a mentor, he's been a coach. His teaching has inspired me to think bigger. His coaching program has helped me to see beyond my current circumstance into the future. And it has definitely helped me grow the company. And you know, besides the favor of the Lord, Keith really has helped me become who we are today. And for that, I want to thank you. And I want to encourage everybody to check him out, find out what he stands for. He brings tremendous value. He's an out-of-the-box thinker. He is somebody that doesn't think small. So if comfort and small thinking and safety is your forte, don't do anything with him, because he's definitely going to get you out of your comfort zone. But as he does that, you'll experience something that you probably haven't experienced before. He's a great guy. You're gonna love him, and I encourage you to connect with him. Keith, you're a blessing, man.
Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you, Martine. So proud of what you've achieved and what you've done in your life. Did you hear what he said, though? I want you to grasp that, those of you who are listening. He said there was a strategic alliance. And when I look at my career, there were strategic times when God brought the person that I needed to help me get to where I needed to go. When I needed the book deal for a New York publisher, Penguin Books, the largest, second largest in the world, God brought Mark Victor Hansen and Jack Canfield in my life. When I needed to improve my speaking ability, God brought an amazing mentor by the name of Les Brown. I mean, the world's best. I mean, think about this, two of the world's best mentors and that, and then coaching. God brought a man by the name of Bob Beal into my life to help me and build my coaching business to what it is today, to build out the systems and the processes that people pay $10,000 a month for, so $120,000 a year. So just think the possibility of you getting one of those, and I'm going to be sharing a little bit about that later. So strategic alliances. When God wants to take you to the next level, he strategically brings somebody. I've seen that over and over and over again in people's lives. And acceleration happens when you connect with a strategic alliance. It gives you leverage. It's amazing. So I want to just go, and I want to talk to you just a little bit here about 83K Academy and give you a little nugget, just give you a little taste of some things that I think that will really help you, and things that we're teaching and we drill down in 83K Academy to help you, okay? And if you got some notes, I really want you to get ready to take some notes here. First of all, I mentioned the word expert industry. So I want you to be more than just a speaker, just a coach, or just a best-selling author. I want you to enter into the world of the expert industry, because experts are the ones who end up making a lot of money. And so what is it exactly? Let me give you the definition down below. The expert industry is a caring community of people who share their advice, their knowledge, and their coaching skills with the world and get paid for it. That's simply what it is. So the expert industry is all about caring people. The first thing about a coach, a speaker, an industry leader is that you care about people, that it's always, listen to this, people first, right? And that's what it has to be, about caring to help other people by sharing your advice, sharing your knowledge, sharing your coaching skills with the world, and then getting paid for it. And we believe in both of those. And that's where I teach on what I call in the Experts Academy, the difference plus a fortune triangle. See, I believe that we can make a difference and we can make a fortune both. Too many people that I know of, they try to divorce the two. So a lot of people, man, they want to make a difference, but then they think they have poverty thinking, poverty thoughts, and they don't think from the perspective, yes, I can make a difference and I can make a fortune. Now, you got to know how to do that. And I'm going to say some things that may surprise you here tonight, but I'm going to tell you, you already have at least $1 million in assets, and you don't even know it. You have, yes, you do. You have $1 million at least in assets. You don't even know it. It's hidden, and you have not tapped into it. You say, what is it? In the expert industry, the number one asset you have is your story. Yeah, that's right. You have a story that's worth at least $1 million, right? As I opened up this time together, I started telling you what, my story, how I lost everything and how I moved into my mother-in-law's house, how I lost everything and I lost my confidence and how I got back my confidence in hell, in the worst situation. My story manifest. And your story, my friend, you have a story. You have some sort of story. You have some sort of pain that happened in your life. You have some sort of crisis that happened in your life. You have some sort of tragedy that happened in your life. Somewhere along the line, life has punched you in the face, man. I mean, it's punched you. It's kind of like the great theologian Michael Tyson said, he says, everybody has a dream until life punches you in the face. If that's you, I want you to say yes, yes. Have you been punched in the face a couple of times? Come on, post down below. Let me see. Let me see. Have you been punched in the face a few times? Oh yeah, I've been punched in the face. But watch this. I want to show you this. You see, your past has tremendous value to create a future, a fortune in your future. Let me say that again. Your past has tremendous value to create a fortune in your future. Wow. See, so many times in my life, I was ashamed of my past. I was ashamed where I came from. I was ashamed of my failures. And when I was younger, I came across like, man, I'm Mr. Success coming. No. People don't connect at the place of your success. They connect at the place of your pain and your struggle that you have in your life, right? And so a lot of you've ignored this past that has tremendous, at least, I told you, at least $1 million of value. And it all starts with your story. Now, here's what I want to give you. You can get paid for sharing your story, your advice, your how-to information that helps others succeed in the expert industry. So you can take that story, share it with others. And if you know how to package it right, let me tell you, people will pay. People will pay for your help. The second thing to make a difference in a fortune is your knowledge. See, that's something else people devalue. So many people, they devalue the knowledge that they have learned up to this point in their life. I remember one coach that I coached, he gained a whole lot of knowledge at IBM, working for IBM, and then he retired and he went through my coaching program. And after he went through my coaching program, he's like, wow, I have a lot of knowledge that I could go back to IBM, not to work for them anymore, but I can go back to IBM. And now I know how I can create this coaching program, sell them this coaching program, and make a lot of money. He went back to the same place that he worked, and they hired him to be their coach, right? And the crazy thing is they hired him back to be their coach, and they hired him back at the same level he left his job at, right? And all he had to do is go in and meet once a month, and he was making the same amount of money that he was making before he retired. And so what did he discover there? Man, I have knowledge in my past that other people don't know. There's something I learned that other people need to learn. And then the final thing on the difference in the fortune is your experience. You not only have a story, you not only have inside knowledge about something, you also have some sort of experience. You've experienced what I haven't experienced. You've walked down a path I've not walked down. But let me tell you, there's people who need to know what you've experienced, and you can use that experience, because many times having experience trumps knowledge. And so all three of those, and in 83K Academy, I spend time helping you drill down in these things so that you can unearth. It's like you got to mine for it. There's gold inside of each one of these 3 areas, and I help you mine that out so that you can take that and make the millions that it's worth. Now you need a blueprint. Right here I got I'm building a new house, and so I got my blueprint on my Corvette there. I just laid it out, and you need a blueprint. I didn't have a blueprint, and one of the things that I want to encourage you with is that before you go into the woods, there's an old saying that says, before you go into the woods, make sure that you have a map. And when I was younger, I'd go into the woods, I'd be all excited, but I'd go in the woods and I wouldn't have a map. And so it's important to have a map. So I want to just show you what I've done. I've created a training process through 83K Academy to help you, okay? Because what I said I wanted to do, I want to take 90 days. It's an accelerated learning process. And what I've created online, it's an hour a day, okay? Monday through Friday, you spend 1 hour. Instead of watching TV, you spend 1 hour, okay? And for the first 30 days, I'm going to teach you how to become a certified life coach, leadership coach, church growth coach, and a business coach. All 4 of those. So in 30 days, I'm going to put you on an accelerated program where I'm going to teach you the A to Z's on how to be a life coach, leadership coach, church growth coach, and a business coach. Now, that whole program, it's already online. We've already been training people for a lot of years. That whole process right there is a huge value. The next 30 days online, I take you through my Wealthy Writers Weekend, which is all about how to become a best-selling author. So it's a 90-day process I'm taking you through. First 30 is Life Coaching Certification Academy. The second one is Wealthy Writers Weekend. There I teach you for 30 days on how to become a best-selling author and how to write your books. I give you templates, and I show you easy templates. I have one template that I teach you how to write a book inside of 14 days. I mean, it's crazy. You can do this. Trust me, you can do this. And then the other one is Speak for a Change. The final 30 days, I teach you how to be a speaker, and you'll be amazed. My last class that I took through, they thought, man, I don't know. I mean, some people, like, number one fear is being a speaker. But when you have the right outline, when you have the right tools and you know how to do it, it becomes easy, man. My last class, every one of them came out phenomenal speeches, awesome speeches. And so these 3 things that I put together that's already part of my training program is all online. And this whole training, all 3 areas of this is a $16,000 value right here. I mean, I'm just laying it on you. I'm taking everything I have and just dumping it into your lap because I want to help you. I want to give you everything you possibly need to succeed in this industry. And so, here's my thought process. I want to take away the thought that this could be hard. I want to take away the thought, can I really do this? And so, because I know I've been there. And so what I've done in this program is I give you the confidence to build this 6- and 7-figure expert empire. And the way I do that is I take my 25 years of experience and all my tools. That's the key. See, you need my mentoring, you need my experience, and you need my tools. So all my coaching programs, step by step, what you do if you get a business client. I have a 14-step plan. What you do if you get a pastor who wants to grow his church, 14-step plan. What you do if you get a successful person who just needs some coaching, You got a template for that. So all of my coaching tools that I have created over the 25 years, all my coaches get my tools. That's why they have so much success. So you're not out there trying to create your own. So many of these other programs, they just say, here's the concepts of coaching. Now go for it and figure it out on your own. No, no, no. I give you a proven plan on what I've used to get six-figure clients. I mean, think about that. Well, just one client paying you $10,000 a month for 12 months. That's $120,000. One client. You can do that. See, a lot of the old people, old school, man, they used to teach, get somebody who pays you $500 a month and then get several people. And no, I call that rabbit hunt. No, you don't rabbit hunt. Why not elephant hunt? And I teach my students, go after big elephants, go after people who are higher up on the leadership rung, who have access to resources that can afford to pay you and pay you really well. There's a lot of affluent people out there that can pay you. Then the people who can't pay you, the rabbits, they still need help, just like the elephants need help. But then you can do something in a group training or something like that for the rabbits who can't afford your one-on-one expertise. I teach you all of this. So what would you rather do? Coach 50 different people to make $100,000 a year? Or would you rather coach one that only takes an hour, few hours of your month versus, getting back to a 40-hour full-time job? So I teach you all those new methods, new techniques. And it's the same way with writing. So many people out there, they teach the old school that, they say, yeah, write a book and sell your book. No, I don't teach that. No, you're not going to get wealthy selling a $10 book. Okay, hear me on that. You're not going to get wealthy selling a $10 book. I'm just giving you a little hint. I run into so many people, well, I'm part of so-and-so's, coaching program. I'm like, oh, that's great. And I wrote a book. I'm like, great. Well, have you created an entire coaching process out of that book? Have you packaged that in such a way that people will pay you bigger dollars for the coaching process instead of just selling a $10 book? Now, I teach you that your book's just your business card. That's all that is. I teach how to do something bigger, right? And then finally, in the speaking industry, there's so much old school about that. A lot of people, like, they're teaching like, hey, go to church and have them take an offering or have them give you an honorarium. I don't do any of that. They say, oh, well, go to businesses and charge them so much for your services. I don't do that. I teach you a whole new concept. See, I don't care how much the business pays me to go speak. That's irrelevant. That's just icing on the cake for me. I don't care how much I get for an offering for a church. I teach you a better way. And a better way is leaving a deposit in other people where at the end you make them an offer to be able to enter into a process of transformation for their life. You see, and that's always way better. And I teach all of that. So there's so much old school out there, but in this training, you're going to get the new school. There's a lot of people, a lot of speakers out there. Listen, I've been in the back. There's a lot of broke speakers, a lot of broke coaches, a lot of broke authors. And it's simply because they had the wrong mindset. I know I had it when I first started. And that's why, you're going to do well, make a difference and a fortune. You can't go the traditional route. That'll fail you every time. All right. So here's what I did. I said, man, I want to load people up. So I created this program online. That's $16,000, all of that. All right. Then I said, man, I'm going to load them up with a bunch of bonuses. So not only do I give you that 90 days, I throw in this bonus for you where I give you, for the full 90 days, I mentor a whole group. Now, I'm only taking a handful of people, okay? This is not for everybody. I'm hand selecting a handful of people who are on this call tonight, all right? And I'm mentoring them. And you, Monday through Friday, you go through the training, all right? On Saturday, we have a call. It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. It ends at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I mentor a small group of people every Saturday morning for 90 days, all right? And I walk you through the process. We have a group coaching time. We have a question and answer time. And then we have a problem solving session time. And it's really, really, really transformational. So I'm throwing that in there because I don't want you to be alone in this. A lot of these programs out here, you're all by yourself. It's do it yourself. And that doesn't help. It didn't help me, and it's not going to help you very well. And if you went through some of these coaching programs, it's why you're not doing well now. You never really had that one-on-one time. And this gives you that. The second bonus is I have what I call the vault. That's like everything I teach, we throw into what we call the wealth vault. So inside of the wealth vault, you're going to have literally everything we teach, everything that you see, like on different subjects and different areas. You're going to have access to literally all of my stuff through the Wealth Tribe Vault. The third thing that you're going to get, this is amazing. Many of you have heard about my Wealth Tribe. It's the #1 platform for building kingdom millionaires. And inside of there, we focus on 3 key areas: leadership, wealth, and confidence, building those 3 things in you. And so the first thing in there is my confidence coaching experience, which is this box right here. It's my 66-day coaching process. And inside of here, it has all of this material on there. Now listen, all of this is on my Wealth Tribe. You can access it, you can download it. Once you're a member, you have access to all of this stuff. Not only that, I have my whole Living Wealthy experience. So it's everything that I know about wealth is all taught in there. And you get all of these programs: Marriage and Money, The Power of 10, Living Wealthy Masterclass. It's just loaded. I got a Millionaire Summit in there. It's amazing. And then we got leadership coaching experience. So everything you need to know on leadership and how to become a better leader and all the programs that are inside there. Wealth Tribe is an amazing program. Inside of Wealth Tribe alone, we have $10,000 worth of training. So it's really, 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 really amazing. And then finally, the fourth bonus that we have for you, when you decide to become part of 83K Academy, is I have a one-on-one consulting time with you. That's right. When you complete your 90 days, we're going to go one-on-one together. And I'm really going to help you drill down on what is your message. So that's when we get razor sharp. A rounded arrow makes no penetration. The best thing that ever happened to me is when I sat down with a coach. I was in my mother-in-law's house. I sat down with a coach, and I looked at him and I said, what is my greatest strength? And both the coach and my wife said, when we're around you, we feel confident. That was 2002, ladies and gentlemen. And out of that meeting, I got razor sharp. And that's how I built the whole confidence brand. It came out of that meeting together, a coaching session. And that's what I want you to do. See, so many people out there are generalists. They got all these, well, I can teach on this, I can teach on that, I can write on that. No, 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 no. I want you razor sharp, all right? And that's why you need a one-on-one. I coach you with group setting, which is really powerful and transformational. But at the end of the time, I say, okay, now it's time for us to really zoom in on your message. So that right there, I told you what I charge, $10,000. That's a $10,000 value right there for one-on-one coaching. And now I'm doing something extra, and then I'm going to throw in even more. I recently did a Millionaire Strategy session, and I pulled all my millionaire friends, and all of them came together and shared for 1 hour. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's something like 12 millionaires share how they became a millionaire. And I have question and answer time, and I'm throwing that whole bonus in with you. This right here alone is $1,000 program right here that I'm throwing everything in. So literally, as you can see, I am giving you everything you possibly need to be able to succeed in this program. Now let's cover a couple things that you might be asking. Okay, let me ask you this. Let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. Okay. Let me ask you something. I want to see down in the post. How many of you want to be a part? How many of you want to be mentored by me? If that's you, I want you to put yes down below. Let me see. How many of you want this? I mean, you don't say, well, how much is it going to cost? That's irrelevant, all right? Let me teach you something real quick. You don't make a decision based on how much something's going to cost. That's not how you operate. That's not the possibility thinker in you. That's the impossibility thinker in you, right? Here's what I learned early on. Intention. You got to be intentional about what you want first. Because if you're not intentional what you want first, the how-to will never come. All right? So first you got to decide. Now, how many of you want to? Let me see. I'm going to look down here. Yeah, I want to see some yeses. How many of you want? Say, I want this. I want this. Let me see. You want me to mentor you? You want to go through training? You want to get the skills? I see some of you. Sherry, yes. Sherry, Lorna, yes. I see it. Yes, I want it. You got to say yes in life, man. Yes. Yes, I want it. Yes, please. Okay. I see it. Deborah, yes. She's saying yes. Yes, we got a lot of people saying yes. I see you. Awesome. Awesome. So awesome. I'm glad to see all that. Now listen, there's a huge amount of benefits of going through something like this. Number one, you're going to be able to use by God to touch so many people's lives. You're gonna write books that are gonna go places. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna write messages that are gonna go places that you never even imagined possible. I'm gonna teach you how to have clients come to you. My clients fly to me, and we go to Clearwater Beach, and they pay the bill, and I enjoy the beach and the exotic place to stay. And if they don't come to me, I come to them, and they treat me really well. I teach you how to do all of this. They pay a first-class flight. I go to great places to eat. I mean, it's amazing where I've been in the world and what's happening in the world. And sometimes I love it because sometimes I'm coaching right on my patio, right on my lanai, enjoying the birds singing and my waterfall and my pool and that's the cool thing about coaching. You can do it anywhere. You can experience it anywhere. This is amazing. It's an amazing industry, and not to mention it's a low startup. I mean, some businesses, a minimum, it's going to take you $100,000 to get started. And the speaking, the coaching, the writing, the expert industry, man, the startup fees are really low. I mean, what do you need? You need training. You need a cell phone and a computer. Those are all you need. And you don't have to have $100,000. It's really low startup to get started. It's amazing. Not to mention that if you just have a regular job, you could use your coaching business as a tax write-off. Some of you paying maximum taxes with no write-offs because you just go to work and go back and you can't write anything off. If you just added on a coaching, if you didn't do anything else, but just added on a coaching business, you would save thousands and thousands of dollars every year just in being able to write things off. You'd be amazed. I mean, you should be writing your cell phones off. You could write cars off. You could write so many office space off. You could write so much off. And you're missing out on it simply because you don't even have a business. Doesn't matter if it produces a profit or not. You should, any person who works a job should have a business on the side. All right. And so that's just a little nugget for you that I wanted to share. So let me get back here to my slide, and I'm going to end for tonight. Okay. And I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and there's a couple things that, you know, people just come to me. They say, can I do this? And my answer is yes, you can do it. You don't have to be afraid. You don't have to think you can't, because that's my job. My job is to give you the tools. See, all you need is the tools. I'm going to give you the tools. I'm going to give you the outlines you need. I'm going to give you the strategies that you need. And once you have some help, and tools help you get things done faster than what you could all by yourself. So I want you to know, I did it. You can do it too. All right. Another person said, said to me, am I smart enough? Yes, you're smart enough. Hey, I flunked kindergarten. Come on. Honestly, I could barely read when I started at 24 years old. I mean, it's crazy. I would read one paragraph, forget everything that I read. Now I can sit down and read a book in a few days. You are smarter than what you think you are. You are a genius. You just bought into the lie that you're dumb. That's all it is. Is the timing right? Someone asked me earlier. I said, yes. It's amazing. Whenever the economy is like the worst, that's when I thrive. I told one group, I said, I almost like, I remember it's like, I was telling people, I said, I almost praying things get bad, because, you know, now when everything is good, people don't think they need coaches. People don't think they need help. But when everything falls apart, they're like, help, I need some clarity. I need to make some decisions. I need a coach. Now's the perfect timing. And trust me, we're not done yet, and people are going to need people like never before. This industry is exploding and it's growing, and you need to be in on it. And with the new things I'm going to teach you with how to use social media and things, man, I wish I had this back when I first started. I'd be killing it. Is it going to cost me? Well, yes, it's going to cost you. Of everything, excuse me, everything cost you. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This whole program, you see all the things that I'm giving you. My team figured it out. This whole thing totals out to $47,000 in value. Yeah, $47,000 in value. And yeah, it is going to cost you something. But remember, I have a heart to mentor people. And so what I set out to do is I set out to make something so affordable that your jaw is going to drop down and go, OMG. So here's the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to do something unique, because see, I'm looking for people. I don't want to just coach just anybody. I don't want to help just anybody. I'm looking for people who at least have the confidence to make the first step, who want to set their intention first before they figure everything out. See, usually you want to figure everything out and then you're going to make a decision. And what I'm telling you as a coach, no, I'm telling you, you walk by faith, not by what? Sight, right? And so that means you got to step out. You got to take the step out of the boat before you even know what's going on. And most of you see, you're like, well, I don't know how. How am I going to do it? You see, you want to figure out the how before you decide the what. And the first lesson I want to teach you as your coach here tonight, if you don't learn anything else but this, tonight, I'm going to teach you intention first, and the how-to will come next. You got to take it one step at a time. That's right. So what I'm going to tell you, you're going to be shocked. And I'm looking for a handful of people. And the way that I'm doing this is I'm going to have you fill out in just a minute. I'm going to have you fill out an application, and I'm going to look at those. And it's Thursday, and we're going to look at those, and you're going to fill out an application. And then in the next 2 days, Coach Sherry, who's live with us today, Coach Sherry, go ahead and post down below. Coach Sherry, one of my coaches, she's going to call you. You got to fill out the application, and then I'm going to look at it, and then I'm going to send a text to Sherry about each one of you, and then she's going to call you, and you're going to book a time with her, and she's going to call you. She's going to talk to you. She's going to see if we fit together, and then if it all works out, we're going to be starting. I mean, this is no time to mess around. We're going to be starting. So our introductory to the training is starting next Thursday. So you got a little bit of time to go. And I always want you to remember this quote by Jim Rohn. I know some of you are looking at it. I love it. It changed my life. It says, success isn't something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become. I love that. Don't you love that? And so what I want you to do is down below, if you want to be a part of this, first of all, the first step is I want you to text yes down below. You say, yes, this is what I've been looking for. I've been looking for someone to give me the training who will come alongside of me and help me. I've also been looking for something that works. All right. Now there's some of you on here. I know you went through other programs, and you're a so-and-so certified so-and-so coach and speaker with so-and-so, but you're still not effective. And it's because you haven't really had the mentoring, and you just because somebody has a big name doesn't mean they have the right processes. And there's a particular person has a big name, but all the coaches that follow them are all broke. They come up to me all the time, and I feel bad for them. And they're teaching the old school stuff. That's old school stuff that I tried didn't even work. And I feel sorry. I feel bad for people. They pay them a bunch of money, and it just doesn't work. This is going to help you to get results. Excuse me. So here's what I want you to do tonight. Your action step. Right now, post yes. Yes, I want to do that. I want to see that. I want to see you go. And let me see if I can see all of you guys posting yes. Wow, it's so overcrowded. I can't even see people posting yes because it just says 99 plus. Post yes down below. Let me see if I can see any of you. Okay, there you go. All right. Now, what is your next step? I need you to go to 83kacademy.com. All right, someone post that in the chat below. 83kacademy.com. You'll fill out the application. It's really easy. It's going to take you 5 minutes. All right. Some of you've already got some of your information in there. You're going to fill out your information. It's going to lead you to another page. It's going to ask you a few questions that I want to know about you. So we get to know a little bit about you first, right? And it's real quick. It won't take you very long. And then the next page, it's going to take you to a page where you're going to be able to book a spot with my executive coach, Coach Sherry D. That's what we call her, Sherry D. And she's a phenomenal woman. And you're going to book some time with her. She's got limited time, but next 2 days, she's reserved some special time for just this cause to help you. And so she's going to have a private call with you. And then from there, we're going to move forward. So I hope you've enjoyed tonight. Have you enjoyed tonight? I hope you've enjoyed tonight. But you got to take action right now. And you need to go over to 83kacademy.com and make sure there's a lot of you that are on, participants that are on tonight. There's also people who are on the phone call tonight. Let me see, people on the phone call tonight too. So you need to get over there real fast and make sure you get a spot booked with her. So while I'm talking, you can even go over there and keep the session on, because don't forget, we're going to do the box yet. I got the box yet. The box prize is coming. All right. So you go to 83k.com, get your thing filled in, get your time slot picked. She has time reserved for you tomorrow. She has some times reserved for you for Saturday, and you can get connected up with them. And she's going to sit down, and if it seems like a fit, you're going to have about a half-hour talk together. She may ask you a few questions, and then she'll share with you all the details of this. And you're going to, and let me tell you, once you set intention, you're going to be very shocked how affordable this program is going to be. 90 days, personal mentoring with me, all my training, a year of Wealth Tribe that's coming that will be coming your way. You'll have access to that for free. Man, I just threw everything at you because I really want the next decade of your life to be the best of your life. Okay, so hey, let's. I'm sure some people may want to get to bed here. Let's find out who the winner is of the box. So Sherry, I know you're online. I can't see anything. I'm going to go back to, let me go back to the screen here. Let me go back and, all right. Let me get back to the screen here. And Sherry, if you will check the numbers, I sent you the number, and maybe you can let me know who is the winner. I'm excited to hear who is the winner of this amazing gift. $399 box. It's going to go to somebody here tonight. Sherry, you tell me who's the closest. Isn't this interesting? Charlene Parlett. Hey, Charlene Parlett. What was the number she picked, Sherry? What did she pick the exact number, or was she close? My number was 10. My number was 10, and Charlene picked 14. Great job, Charlene. Hey, just post your email or post your address down below, and we'll make sure that we send this out to you. Congratulations. Now listen, if you guys have some questions down below, please go ahead. I'm going to go down to the questions. If you have any questions of what we talked about tonight, I know I shared a lot, and there's so much more to share, but I know some of you may not have hours and hours for that, but let me go into the questions. So go ahead and post down below. If those of you, if you have to go, make sure you go over to 83kacademy.com tonight. All right. You can't say yes and then not take action. There's too many people. You say, what's happening is you're saying yes in your head, but you're not saying yes from your heart. And that's one of the struggles that you're having in life is that you're not taking massive action. And that's what I'm going to teach you to do in 90 days. I'm going to teach you that action creates opportunity. And some of you, you're waiting on God to bring you opportunity. No. Wrong. You see, you think you're waiting on God. God's waiting on you. You take the first step. Every miracle that ever happened, someone had to do something first for that miracle to manifest. So you're waiting on God. God's waiting on you to take the step. That's where we get mixed up in this. And so You take the action, the how-to comes, the people come, the money come. I have seen this happen in my life so many times. It's crazy. It's crazy. Most people don't get it. So I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna teach you how to do this. I'm gonna be your coach and help you with it. Who's got some questions? Let me see. Let me go on. Did anybody post 83K Academy down in the post? Go on over there and start signing up right now. What is the difference between your story and your experience? This is from Dunu. Good thing. Well, there a lot of them. It's why I put it in a triangle, because I like triangles, because there's not one that's really more important than the other. It's like all three of them are similar, and yet they're different, right? So like your experience, let's say you have, like, let's take the guy I used that went back to his company he worked for. So he had an experience of being a sales manager for IBM and selling all of their big photocopy machines. I mean, at commercial level, like really high level, right? And so for him, it wasn't so much his story. It's that, and I taught him that it's his experience. He has so much experience, and he had so much know-how in the sales business, because not only, it's one thing to open up a book and to read something about sales, right? It's another thing to deal with people when you're selling to, like with that guy, he's not just selling to Joe Schmo who comes on a car lot and wants to buy a Ford Mustang. He's not dealing with some little kid who wants to buy a Mustang. No, he's dealing with CEOs. He's dealing with CFOs, maybe COO of really large corporations, and purchasing managers, and it's a whole different ball game. So he brings an experience that few people have, and a lot of times we have experience in a field that we spent decades in, and then we tend to devalue it, and that's real common at midlife. A lot of people, and midlife can happen in your 40s, can happen in your 50s. We devalue our experience. We worked in an industry for years, and then we're just like, I want to change, and then we just say, well, I'm cutting that off. It's kind of like cutting off our past and not realizing, wow, there's a lot of wealth in my story, and we can just cut that off. And when we do, we cut off a lot of value that we really have coming into this next new season. One thing you're going to learn in 83K Academy, that it's all about bringing value to the marketplace. And the question is, right now, you're bringing a certain amount of value. You're getting paid for that value. Well, the question is, well, how can I bring more value? And so when you increase your value, here's what happens. People will start paying you more. And in 83K Academy, I teach you how to do the stair step and how to keep increasing your value, so then you can get more people. One of the ways to do that is, of course, leveraging relationships. And when you can create more value by realizing, I have tools that have been proven to help people, and that people may have paid a lot of money for my tools and the processes that I've created, you see, and now you are bringing more value. So I'm giving you my value. I'm giving you value to pick up that value and run with it. and I'm adding value and adding expense into your life. That's a cool thing about 83K Academy and my coaching process. That's why people are experience accelerated growth and increase of income because of it. So you can ride on my experience, even if you don't have experience, you ride on my experience, right? And ride on my tools that I have to help people. Good question. Good question. Somebody said, thank you for your time. Overcome limitations. Good. Bent Martin, how many times through the year is this academy available to those who may be interested in joining? This is the last one this year, by the way. This is the last one. So my intent is to do 3 a year. So like the next one may be at the first of the year. But the thing is why wait? Why wait? It's do it now. Do it now. It's never the right time, bro. It's never the right time. Be a do it now guy, okay? When do I start my coaching with Dr. J? As soon as you fill out your application and you're accepted, we're starting. The introductory class is next Thursday, is the introductory class. And then we're going to be hitting the road. I'm going to get you all ready, and then we're going to start. So now's the time to get moving. Now's the time to get moving. We already have people who have been approved already. So I'm looking for a few more people. We'll see. So make sure you fill out your application, and then you'll know. How did you earn the title as America's #1 confidence coach? For example, was there a poll? Is it from mentees, a student's testimony, etc.? Very good thing. Actually, people started calling me that. I took on the brand. When I first started my brand, I grabbed on the brand confidence coach. All right. I branded myself as that. Right. So I zoomed in on my life message. And so I discovered in my mother-in-law's house, I lost all my confidence. I lost it all. Yes, there's a day America's #1 confidence coach had 0 confidence. That's right. I lost it all. I was ready to give up on God, give up on life, give up on my wife. I was ready. I even had thoughts of committing suicide. I'll be honest with you. That's where I was. And I realized I totally lost my confidence. And so I went on a journey. It's been a lifelong journey of rebuilding my confidence, getting my confidence back. And I branded myself as the confidence coach. So I took my pain, I took my story, I took my weakness, I took my tragedy, and I turned it into a brand. And I teach you how to do that. And then eventually, it was actually Robert Schuller of the Crystal Cathedral. He read one of my books, and then he sent me back an endorsement for, at that time it was called the Confidence Makeover. And in there he said, this is America's #1 confidence coach. And I thought, whoa. And so he was the one that actually kind of branded that at first. Interesting. I don't think I've ever told anybody that.